everywhere. GBS.
The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show we are talking about, or rather we are asking, who should be considered before marriage? Last week we talked about dating, then we asked after dating what next. We all agreed is marriage. But before you say I do, who are we supposed to consider before we say I do? We're talking about the in-laws, friends, relatives. Tell me, who are you supposed to consider? Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I'm not alone. I have guests with me who are going to help us to understand better who they are considering before marriage. I will allow them to introduce themselves. Welcome, guests, starting with you, our lady.
Hello, viewers. My name is Jennifer Macau. I'm a married woman and I'm blessed with 3 sons. Thank you.
Welcome on the show, Madam Jennifer, and to you, sir.
Thank you for having me. My name is Emmanuel Gashina. I am not married, but yet to. I'm a photographer. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome on the show, Mr. Emmanuel. So, balancing this, married, not married. Now, we want to talk about, Jennifer, before you got married, what were the things that you need to consider before you got married? What are those things that you looked at and you had like a checklist and saying, these are the things I need to confirm before I say, or I commit to this person for the rest of my life? To you also, Mr. Emmanuel, what are those things that you are looking for before you commit to this specific woman? Because now we are talking about monogamy. We are not talking about polygamy, rather, unless you're planning to be a polygamous man. But also we can check largely also to polygamous. But to start with, what are those things that you need to consider? Or rather, Jennifer, what did you look into before you got married to your husband? What are those things that you were looking and saying, this one I can deal with, this ones I can't?
Well, when you look at this path, you have to put a clear line between fantasy and reality. You know, that time when we were in school and we could just meet as girls and everybody had a Prince Charming. It's like we were all having Denzel Washington, who's photocopied from one to another. He's rich,
So
he's the height, the complexion. It gets real. And then you come to meet the real world and you realize, okay, you cannot just take just wood and sculpture that Denzel Washington. You have to come to the ground and get real with life. Well, normally when you get married, I know their in-laws, I know their friends. But the key matter to me, the biggest root cause and everything was to check out on the man. Because we have to have one language. Two cannot work together unless they agree. So your mother may love me, but you don't like me. Now will I go and marry your mother? I have to get married to you. Your sisters may like me, but me and you, we are not okay. So the first person is normal. The first thing normally is my relationship with you. Then the rest can be able to be added to follow up. What are the things you should check on? What are the boundaries you're supposed to have even between us and our in-laws, you know? That not monotonicity. We know we have families. From my side, there's a family. From your side, there's also a family. But how are we going to handle this, because they are all part of the family, without them dictating per se what you're supposed to do? Like we can be able to come up with the solutions and give them, not with arrogance, and they can be able to blend in, because at the end of it all, even the Bible says you shall leave your mother and your father and be joined together. So there's literally living, as painful as it is, you live and you be joined together and you start this journey. So the first thing I considered was something that people maybe don't check many times. It is a God-fearing man. And after that God-fearing man, then we come to you personally, principles, character. Are these things that I'm going to be able to endure? Because you'll be able to go at some tribes. Let's say, for example, and you're going to meet some traditions, and you cannot be able to tie those traditions on your back. Some are heavy. Your family has traditions, right? Them, they have traditions, and for them, a woman has to have these traditions to come to this marriage, and you are married to a Kalenjin, and transitioning from Kalenjin to Kamba. And then Kamba also a mixture of Kamba end. So when you look, it's like at the end of it all, you have to put everything aside. Yes, they are there. But the thing that matters most is me and you. Can this work? Are we comfortable? Is God leading this marriage? Then from there, we can bring in the parents. They'll give us the advice. They'll give us what the party should talk. Okay, you don't miss that toxic one sometime who just comes with the extra. So we'll be able to know how to accommodate that and to be able to have the boundaries. So normally, for me, the major checkup was the fear of God in your life. Secondly, the character. Never lie to yourself and say, I'm going to marry a person with this character and eventually I will change them. That is the biggest mistake you'll do. Choose that time whether you are willing to walk with this character to the end, because this is it. There are some habits you have to check. If this is it, are you ready? Is he a cheat? Get ready for cheat. Don't say you'll change him. Don't say you'll be that better woman. That is the journey you're going to take. So get ready for a heartbreak, or say this is it. Before you even involve other people, before you think about, is he financially stable? His career? What are we going to do about career? First, it is the background check of this person. Before you say, I'm checking your mother, I'm checking your father, where you come from, how are they? Are they polygamous? It is this person. Is this person abusive? If he's abusive, you are ready for it. You will not change that person. It is going to a wife. It is not like you're opening a psychiatric hospital to begin counseling a person. You are going there as a wife and soon to be a mother, and to be able to have responsibilities on your shoulder. So you cannot be able to mother your children and mother your husband. I don't know whether you get that picture.
Sure.
He's busy there. He's battering you on the other side. You are carrying check. You check that. You lose it. So you have to be able to have a sane environment. Like, is this what? Of course, I know people can pretend, but there are those red lights you see before they turn to the red carpet that has just been thrown, and now you have to walk on it. And you say, this is it. Before you enter into it and you begin to tolerate many things, these are the signals you see, and you begin to ask yourself, is this it? Am I able to take this journey? Well, when I was a child, I could think something else and I could say, I'll be able to, but you cannot change anybody. You cannot change anybody. A character.
But the man can change because of a woman, and the woman can change because of a man, out of willingness.
That can only come out of willingness. There's this story I heard of a person who was a drug addict, and many times he was being forced, his name was Julio, he was forced to go for, all the time to go for rehab, but every time he went, he did not see the purpose of it. Like, he did not consider himself as a drug addict until he came into terms, he's a drug addict. If you know you have any addiction of that problem, you have to come in terms with it yourself, not your wife even pushing you to it. You have to realize yourself. Then you can change. Yes, there is hope for change. But you do not go with those muscles saying, now, I'm this superwoman, I'm going to change this man, and let the community be broken. Because this person has to come and realize, even maybe sometimes they don't even know they are abusive. Maybe they grew up even in a funny background. And to them, this is the new normal. And then you grow up in a background that is sane. And then you come and meet this one, which is well cooked with insanity. And this is a husband. And don't forget, this will be a role model to your children. So this is kind of a journey. You see it, you calculate. It is not something you're going to walk in. You're not going just to say, we part ways. This is it. It will either end up in a divorce.
I was looking at a meme that was saying, me walking to my husband. No, it was a meme doing something funny to the husband, knowing that he said that akichoka ende akalale. If he's tired, let him take a nap. He's here to stay. He's not going anywhere. So I get your concept when you're saying
it is
this
wholesale.
is it.
It is
Yeah?
not retail. It is wholesale. You are there wholesale, not retail.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Coming to you, Emmanuel, as now you're preparing or you're getting ready to walk to that journey, what are those things that you're looking at and you're saying, these are the things for me to consider?
Thank you. For me, coming to terms into this generation that you're living in,
Mhm.
the major thing that I'm really looking at is character, because it is scary. I will not lie.
Mhm.
It is scary because things are happening out here, and we just assume that it's a phase. It's just a generation that will pass. No, it is not. You're forgetting that you're taking this person out from the street to your own life now. So whatever they were doing out there, they will do it in your own household. So for me, first of all, is character. Who are you? Do you respect yourself? Do you respect yourself as a female? Do you respect yourself as a female in the society or wherever you are? Family, I would say, because I wouldn't say my family is that toxic or anything. Actually, big up for bringing me up. Uh, Family background is crucial because you might think that you love this woman,
Yeah.
but then again, the family is really tough out there. You can't even handle the smallest of the pressure that they have. So family for me is another key thing. Um, are you? I won't say you religious. Are you?
Do you respect God? Do you
Yes.
know
Do you
God?
respect God? Do you know God? Because if you know God, then that comes or that draws in the aspect of self-discipline.
I may have a question when you're saying and you're asking yourself, do you know God? Do you respect God? Because my God is not your God.
Yeah.
So are we looking at if you're respecting the same God, you God is God, you just know your God, I know my God, and we maintain the respect.
Do you know God? Not about it's my God and your God. Do you know God and do you respect God?
So yours is not religious per se.
Yes, is in a stand faith and what you really believe in as a woman. Do you? I don't even care if you go church twice in a month, but can you be doing things that actually show attributes of holiness in you, or not really holiness, but it can be told that you're a bit, yeah, you get.
Should have people like you. A question. As I corner you maybe to that. When you say that you're not looking as a church girl per se, or a so religious girl per se, when you're bringing up, because now we're planning for marriage, when we get there and you have children, what are we teaching our children?
uh, what are we teaching our children?
Amma will cross the bridge when we get there.
Not really, because we teach. Because for me, I was taught these simple things, like if you love God, or if you claim to love God, then you should be able to love others and create an environment where you can accommodate someone else, like things like compassion and love and generosity. So I will teach my kids on how they will be in accordance to how we live with my wife. So I don't know if I've answered your question.
Okay, no bad. Listening to Emmanuel, I'm like, even for us, ladies, you also have that. So for you as Jennifer, what were you looking at exactly? Were you looking at me, and my man? We have to be going to the same church so that we know. But again, you can also be going to the same church, but do not believe in the same God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we hear people saying the God of Jennifer is doing wonders and miracles, but when you look to the God of Eunice, you know, we face challenges, trials, and tribulation differently. Because today I might be going through a suffering, and tomorrow I'm not going through the same suffering. So, whichever the circumstances and how I'm brought up or what I believe into, I may draw closer or further away from God. It depends, right? So in this case, as Jennifer, what were you looking when you're talking about matters to do with faith, with religion? Were you looking as this person, your husband, personal um, journey in terms of spiritual, one so spiritual person, someone who's talking in tongues, someone who can pray for the sick and the heal, or you're looking at someone who goes to church, we can be going to church together, someone who is just there, you're going to church, okay, I'll drive you, I'll come back to sleep. We have guys who do that to their wives. And we also have people who are like, mi na kanisa 31st peke yake ndo tunaendanga church ama siku ya birthday just to give thanks. So if it is on a Wednesday, I'll go for Wednesday service ama the lunch hour na nikwambia bedhe leo nilienda church, you know. What were you looking for exactly? Because again, as a woman, we have this aspect of if I'm married and I'm married to a Muslim, I'll convert to Islam. If I'm married and I'm married to an Indian, then I'll accustom and abide myself to the first to the culture, second to their belief. Because mostly, I stand to be corrected, it's the woman who change and abide to what the man is believing or is believing in. So, for instance, if I'm in church, and join church D and be a partaker of church D. Sure. So what were you looking for?
Well,
because you said religion, yes, you have someone who respects God, but to what length and depth?
Well, all that said and done, now these are the things that before I entered into a relationship, I had to count the cost, because now I have to check if you're on different religions. Then I visit. I'll come and visit you. Of course, I'll welcome you visit, and you'll also come and visit me. And then I feel like, how will I be able to blend into this? And then I feel like, this thing, this thing, we come back, we decide, we talk. Now, when we marry, normally I have to come back to you, and your family will be saying, why is your wife going to a different one? Your church will be saying, maybe you even have a position where you are. So these are the things I'll sit and I'll say, how will this one be able to work? Because I feel comfortable here, you feel comfortable there. So there, we have even sometimes, that's where counseling comes in. Because now, this is now people with both full dental formula deciding to decide on something. Don't forget, even if you are converging here, you also are thinking to some extent. And you have also your own ideas. But they have also to be under now somebody. So soon and very soon, you are supposed to be called Mrs. So and so. And you have to take their name. But per se, on my side, I could say that it was not that complicated. I had this concern. I don't know whether you guys had the same. When people wanted wives, they used to come to church. They come from club, they were drunk, and then they come, they clap, they mingle with the crowd, with the crowd just for a month, and they know who they are targeting. I'm targeting Eunice over there, Eunice over that corner, Cindy. So you have no idea, you're thinking this is one faithful brother in church, only to come and realize this is a 1 month, peradventure is a crowd with many people, Cindy. This is a 1 month person who just came to look for a wife, to get the wife. Then you go back to this. If he was doing drinking and every single thing, and many are fallen victim of that. Nikitaka bibi nikaribia kuoa, taenda kanisa. But as for now, I'm going to enjoy. So if you're going just to look for a person who has the attributes of God, you might just end up getting that one. And then you begin to wonder, all this searching and everything, and they'll camouflage. Okay, you'll be lucky if they're going to give you the red lights. At some point, you'll be very lucky. But you might just be able even to jump into it saying, finally, my prayers are answered. And then you realize even the Njoroge who was sitting beside you was even better. You knew him. This one who came with a car, they are rich, Cindy, they are everything. And you say, this is an answered prayer. Oh my God. It was packaged and it was exactly what I thought, like Job, the way he said, Job said, the things I feared most have come to pass. This is it. So, and before you realize you can take a step back now, even maybe you are a mother. You did not even say, I do. You are a mother, and the journey has to begin. And then the drama of your life begins. The character begins. One character on the table, the next character on the table, the third. And before you realize, you are like, am I taking the path of a single mother divorce? Because people are not single divorced because they want. No, nobody ever wanted or calculated for that. Everybody wanted to stay in the marriage to the end. But it becomes too much to an extent whereby they count the cost and realize that they were not so good in the calculation. So when you check on things,
Math
there's
is
something
not
you
my
check.
thing.
When you check on things, there's something. There's a difference just between that and having the fear of God. You see, you'll be able to know a man also with the fear of God. Because
How?
that is what stops you from doing these crazy
I want
things.
us to take a break, and when you come back, you tell me there's a difference.
Yes.
That difference is what the difference is what I want you to help us to see clearly. Because again, you can't just tell me there is a difference between that and the fear of God. If I do not fear this God, how am I going to tell that he fears God? That is what I want you to tell us when you come back after the break. Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 2114. We'll be back shortly.
The moment we receive the word of God in our heart, from that moment, God starts working in our life. So the four lepers, they did not have hope. In fact, when you see them, they were so weak, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So when you see from the Bible, Jesus, he became their hope. And Jesus can become our hope when we have no hope.
Intricacy to polygamous marriage.
Many times we tend to fail to understand what is marriage.
Yeah,
So I think before we define what
true.
polygamous marriage is, we need to understand what marriage is. Yeah. Don't you dare go into someone's marriage. Don't be that desperate. Don't stoop up that low.
Yeah.
Wait upon your own appointed person. God was very particular from the book of Genesis when he said that it is not good for a man to be alone. So let me bring him a suitable helper. He didn't say suitable helpers. So that's where we miss the point. Nobody tells you about his weakness. He talks about the weakness of the other.
wife.
Young girls, hizi mambo za kupewa malift na married men, she'll just stop. Honestly, I tell girls, afadhali ukae kwa jam kungoja gari.
We cannot pay the price of forgiveness of sin. That's why God wanted to give us. Remember, grace has to be free of charge. If there is a price, there's not a grace anymore. People say, oh, I did this and I received grace. I did this and received grace. That is not grace if you have paid the price. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus.
Everywhere. GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu Jamii. Today we are asking, who should you consider before marriage? Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, you were telling us something, Madam Jennifer.
Yeah.
Please carry on.
You are talking about the fear of God, and that the person just who came to get a wife. I mean, you know, this world is a lot of drama. You cannot stop. And there are characters. And the same way maybe you can be able to know human beings are different. They are like fruits. They have different characters. One is like watermelon, the other one like orange, the other one like demo. You don't know which one you met. So everybody is free to exercise whatever they want whenever they want to come and marry. God help the one will fall victim, and the one will be able to have wisdom or just have grace and mercy. Because many times you preserve yourself and you end up in a place you didn't ever expect. I've met several of us there. And then we were in school and our calculations, and we are like, what went wrong? What went where? So then, just as I could just be able to give my personal experience, I realized there's a very big difference. Just a churchgoer and a person who has the fear of God. These are two very different people. Because this person who is coming there, they will be able to sing, do everything, you know, they participate, be where you are. They even know where you normally go. Don't think they are foolish. They know Eunice likes this. She goes there. They are good. They're out for a while. If you don't blame them, do you blame? They are hunting. And they have to come out with their sheaves at the end of the day, right? So they are targeted. And they have to come out with a wife because they have seen the clubs or wherever it was. And they realize, here we just play, there we get a wife. And now we have come to get a wife. And there was the wife who doesn't know anything about how to be able to know what is happening there. I know there are pastors there. They are there to guide you and everything. But now you can even be able to go to the pastor when you already have the connection of heart and you don't feel like you want to break up with this person. Too late. Or you have even done a blunder. Maybe you didn't know many things. Topic for another day, maybe, because also we should be educated on how to face the society and be able to know these things, at least to some percentage. We cannot have 100%, but to some percentage. But we thank God also for pastors who play a crucial role. But now, the fear of God, there's something about it. There's a character that maketh a man, and there's a fear of God. Every man can do and can be a cheat. But whenever they want to take that step, that fear is what stops them. There's the one who just comes to church, but that fear, it is what stops them. Yes, I could be doing this, but there's who I'm going against. My wife cannot see me. Eunice cannot see me, but there's that I'm against. And that is what stops them. That is where they'll be able to be curtailed even when you cannot be able to see them. When they want to make a stupid decision, that is what will stop them for you. So God has you covered. That fear is what composes that person. And it makes them want to run away from many things. They get same opportunities, but they are able to step away.
I want to engage Emmanuel from the Generation Z.
I'm not Generation Z though.
Even though, but again, you say you're not married, but you're headed there. Now, with the generation that we are in, I believe it's different from Jennifer's, because Jennifer said he's married and with 3 sons. For you, not yet married. With our generation today, you said you don't matter. It doesn't matter to you whether he's going to church or not. The generation today, if you're a Muslim, you're a pagan, you're a goth, you name whatever you believe in.
Yes.
As long as we are in agreement, we do us. So when it comes to, if me, I'm a Muslim, Friday ikifika naenda mosque.
Yes.
If you're a Christian, Sunday ikifika unaenda church. If you're a Seventh Day, Saturday ikifika unaenda church, you know?
Yeah.
Because an SDA and a church goer, they're both Christians, but go to worship in different days.
Sure.
So for you, as Emmanuel, do you consider that? Ukisema, if you're going to church, si wote tunaenda Sunday, ama si wote tunaenda Saturday, ama si wote tunaenda Friday. Is that something that you'll consider so much, ama you'll be like, please, you just do your God, do your religion, I'll do mine, we'll meet in heaven?
At the beginning of the marriage, I'll make like a test, and let us go our different churches first. Okay, we are going to my church since you're married to me. So I will start now analyzing the behaviorals of you going to church. Do you are you so engaged in church? Are you so into choir? Are you so? I'll just look at you and your mannerisms and
Question:
Yeah.
If this is a Muslim, how are you going to engage her to go to your church?
Or if she's a Muslim and I'm Christian, I will let you go to your own service. I will not pressure you to become a Christian just because I'm the man of the house and I'm the one who's married. No, I will let you have your own belief and do you, because at the end of the day, we serve one God.
What happens? Because these are the things that we are considering. We said we are considering before marriage, right?
Yeah.
If you do not have an issue, what happens when the in-laws start interfering? Because there are both sides. There's your side who are Christian, there's the side of the lady who is a Muslim. So there's that interference. They want you, your family wants her to convert, and also the family of the lady wants you to convert. How do you draw now the clear boundary of protecting your wife and the other way around, and not letting them get the upper hand in making decision for you?
This might sound challenging, but let it be known. These are my words. These are literally my words. I'm so confident in them.
Let it be known.
Let it be known that there is no at one time that my in-laws will come in between of how we are going to run our own business. Because I want you to respect my woman as my woman. If you're to tell me how we should be in a Christian way and advise, that is okay. But don't come and tell me, I want you to be going to me. I don't want your wife to be. No, I won't. I won't allow it. And if push goes to shove, I'll just do like the way was it Prince Harry? We just go and start our own life. Literally, I will do that. To protect my own family and protect the sanity of my woman. I will literally leave you and afadhali tuishi Somalia. On a serious note, tuende Somalia tukae.
Total shift.
Yeah.
Where they're not coming and interfering and
Yeah.
no communication.
Yeah,
Wow. This is the generation you're having. I like the way he's saying with a lot of confidence. Let it be known it's me. But again, it's out of that we find a lot of young people eloping and the parents lamenting. As a parent now, let me also put you in a room later.
Yeah.
As a parent, and your son or your daughter comes and say, Mama, it's time for me to get married. I do not know their age, but I'm assuming walking to that step, you've already walked your journey. And he brings you someone of a different religion or belief system. And if you do not conform to what they want, then they even then tell you that they're eloping. They just decide and they disappear. What would you do as a parent? Because now this is power must change hand. You're no longer, we are not talking about Jennifer, the wife. Now we are talking about Jennifer, the mother-in-law. And the mother.
Hopefully in love. Hopefully in love, not just in the law.
Okay.
This is one tricky place to be. I'll not lie. First of all, parents should know their boundaries, because you're dealing with an adult. Yes, you might be able to see something they cannot see seated where you are, but you just don't bring it like just blast it like that. You've got to understand emotions are involved here, and these are grown-ups who have made their decisions, and you've got to learn how to embrace this girl, just like your daughter. I know you didn't give birth to this girl. She's come to your home. Now you have a plus. She'll be calling you mother, and your son is calling you mother. Whether it will be in law or in love, it's a mother. So there's motherhood involved there. So many times we tend to protect our own and want to crush the other side. Not forgetting also, there are also other daughters or wives who their work is anytime there's a problem in the marriage, they have run to their parents. Caution. No. Sort things first of all. Mostly with your, because now you are the one who is being used to pressurize your husband to change. Just another thing. So you realize even if you want to elope with her, you'll not elope because she's the one working with the father to change you. Say, you know, he has to change. Now that becomes another thing. That's a walk towards either a divorce. That is talaka. Why? Because I wish you just become one team and you talk one language. But there's one here, either the son goes to the father or the daughter goes to the mother. I don't know that you've ever seen that. That is enough problem in the house. Your problems are not even an issue here. The parents are already an issue. And once you bring those people in, you have done the biggest mess of your life. Everybody comes with their own voice. That one, hata sikuwa impenda, that man of yours, you see his hair, you see everything. And they begin even to give you other voices. First, in your own sanity, what have you agreed? This is what you have agreed. Are you comfortable with that? That's why in my day-to-day work in marriage, to some extent, I really involve my sons. And they are grown up to some extent, there's the line. But I want them to know the reality of marriage. I want them to know the reality of things. I want them to realize, after you take lollipop, chapati, you go outside there, you make decisions. There's a place the parent will also come in. Because there are times whereby you just need to ask a question. And I want them to realize that it's not just all about this joy. There comes a time of the responsibility. And this time of the responsibility, the decisions you made there, now, they matter. So as you're making this decision, I will be there to support you. I will counsel you. Don't misquote me. I will counsel you. This road you're taking, to me it looks like this. To me it looks like this. How I wish you could go and think deeper and be able to think about this road you're taking. Of course, if they allow me, I can involve a third, wiser person than me. There are people who have gone ahead of me. Normally they say, a quote of wisdom says, stand at the road and ask the old people this path about, this path they have taken, you ask. So normally you realize that even before the Tushosho could groom people or other people, they could groom people. This is because there's a wisdom, there's something they know you don't know. They have gone ahead of you. So I'm trying to tell you, this journey you're taking right now, it looks like hallelujah and everything. But at some point, there'll come the reality check. And when this reality check comes, now that is marriage. It was marriage, I have no problem with it. But now this is marriage, whereby it's no longer about the two dresses you are wearing, how you are putting your makeup, you had enough time for the makeup. Now, you have to love each other the way it is like this. You have gotten a child, the duties are now dispersing. It's no longer about taking lollipop together. So, I'll not push you away, but I will give you the advice. And then I'll leave you to choose. And just know the door is open, you can always come. I don't say you choose what I've told you, but at least you'll remember I told you. So that when you make sometimes I love it when they make mistakes. It's very sweet. Because when they make it, it's permanent. You'll never have to go back there. They make it, it's so painful. When you're wiping the dust, or you tell them wipe it and stand up, you know this person has learned. And this person, when you are mentioning now, their heart is empty. They know whatever you are saying because they have gotten a experience. So they might take even the road. I'm sorry, as a mother, it's painful. The road that you don't want. And you can see, but you wish them well. What can you do? Many times as a parent, you'll watch your child walk, fall down, you feel, ouch. You'll not show them the ouch. You might turn back, but you'll say, amka, sindio, amka, panguza, twende, but you know you felt the fall. You don't want them just to be weak. I'll tell you about that part. Think about it. But it will come a time, that advice, I know you'll pick it. And I know you'll be coming for another advice. Because when I'm giving it to you, I've thought it deeply. And many times I could be talking from my own experience when I thought I knew like you. And I did that mistake. And now I came to learn.
What happens when you say you're talking from your own experience and they tell you, Mama, that is your own experience. That was your own flaws. That was your own fault.
Sure.
Deal with it.
But
then mine, I'm not going to make the same.
But then I've come to realize this life has a weird pattern. A very, very weird pattern. Go check very, very well. It is like you pass through this road and you know very well There are lions on this road, but your friend doesn't know, or your child doesn't know there are lions on this. They are choosing it because it looks so blossomy. But you know, beyond there, what you found. And because you are telling them, because you know, you are giving them a shortcut to a happy life, but maybe they want a practical. You cannot stop the practical. They will take the practical, meet either the roar or the lion. Funny enough, you are somewhere. God always places you on a bush, you know. Now this is the time I enter. Let's talk. Are you ready? We listen. But I know you have experienced some. People can be different. There's that child who will see the father who is a drunkard, decide, I will drink like my dad. And there's the one who will say, I will never drink because
I don't want to turn out.
I don't want to turn out to be. So this one who wants to meet the lion, you have to have, they are called shock absorbers, like the car. Have the shock absorbers. This time is coming and you are wait for it. 1, 2, 3, and hi, Mom.
This is a week.
Can we
You
talk?
cannot be counting like that for them and saying that you wait one.
There is a lion on that bag.
I want us
Unless
to take a
the zoo
break.
took it away.
I want us to take a break. When we come back, I want to come and engage Mr. Emmanuel here and give us his own perspective on that, because you as a mother, I feel sorry for your son.
And I picked that phone call proudly laughing. Very proudly laughing.
That's a weird mother. Viewers, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 211. We'll be back shortly.
My name is Eugene Kwach, and this is The Insider. Of course, you're watching GBS TV.
Since independence, we have a tax rate that is above 30% for individuals, which is around 35%. And when you look at the region, I think we are among the countries that have the highest income tax rates for individuals in Africa. Tax can only be punitive when, number one, it's not aligned to what we call the canons of taxation, or the principles of taxation. The biggest issue is how those borrowings are actually utilized. And then number two, if at all we can try and have a balance between how much you are borrowing and the size of our GDP. If you are running a business or an individual that wants to be very certain about the future and about the continuity of the business, then it's important for you to ensure you're tax compliant, to avoid that uncertainty, and to avoid your business from being shut down for tax compliance issues.
Are you all happy to see me? Yes, I'm also very happy to see you. We're going to make, ta-da, a banana milk package.
Kujeni hizo points, take your pen and your notebook because you're about to get some lessons by the way.
Anga niko na dola lakini sasa kuilipa.
Ni shida.
Bado kuna emergency. Bado tu ile emergency iko.
So ushaijipata hapo.
Yeah.
The friend bado are you still friends?
Ni huyo.
Sema mama akinipigia simu aseme nimtumie do, hata kazi naweza kopa nimtumie. Lakini maana kuna umse, tameba ndakula jaba. Ndakufanya hivi, ndakufanya hivi. Bro mami sina. Like unacheki penye mimi natoka manze, nzapata tu na boyera hata. Siniokole. Chunguza kitaenda kufanya ni stuff nyingine. Sasa unacheki. Ungekuona I could smell you before I taste you. Ungekuwa food. I could taste you before I eat you. Ungekuwa spices, girl, I could mix you to find my flavor.
Everywhere. GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are asking, who should you consider before marriage? Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Our counselor has joined us. I will allow him to introduce himself. Welcome.
Hello, viewer. My name is Benjamin. I'm a mind education specialist, and thank you, Eunice, for inviting me here.
Welcome, Mr. Benjamin. So before you came in, we were with Emmanuel and Jennifer here, and we are talking, who are we supposed to consider before we get married? Jennifer has stated categorically for him, he looked at the person, the character, if they are blending in together without looking for the family. The family is additives. Emmanuel also stated the same, that he would also consider the character of the person, because he said out here it's so scary. And I don't know, to you, what did you consider, as you also counsel us through the same walk? Who are we supposed to consider? Because again, I might be introduced by my fiance, or rather my boyfriend, to their family, and the father, the mother, the sister said, who you know? Maybe because of dress code, maybe because of religion, maybe because of tribe, you know. Are these things that we should consider, or are these things that you should? For me personally, I may not have an issue with religion, I may not have an issue with tribe, but my family has an issue with that. At what time should I draw a line and say, now this is my own decision to make, and this is, I should consider what my family is saying?
So when you talk about considering, I'm thinking about the term consider. This term consider, we don't use the term consider when you have only one option. It means now we will be advocating for people to have several options so that they consider who to choose and what to choose. But for me, I want to talk about, when we talk about marriage, we are talking about love. We are not talking about people who are just meeting to go and do business. People are just meeting to go and get themselves in activities to do with, before even, you plant a seed and then you get a tree. You wait for the fruits. Now people jump to the fruits instead of thinking about the seed that they have planted, how they have to water. After germination, how they have to take care of that. That's now why we have to talk about the blueprint. Because when we talk about love, we talk about the matters of the heart. And when we talk about matters of the heart, we are not talking about something tangible that we can see. We are talking about an unseen world that you cannot tell. I don't know, and I cannot tell whether you have ever seen the wind. I don't know whether Jennifer touched the wind or whether she knows the shape of the wind.
No.
But one of the things that we know, we can see the effects of the wind, which means you cannot see the wind, but you can see the effects of the wind. We cannot see the world of the heart of man, but we can see the effects that come from the world of the heart of man. And the heart of man has functions. And one of the functions, and the most common function that we have to talk about now when we talk about who do you choose, we are talking about the function that is called the function to love, the function for others, the function to esteem others to be better than you. But now, before we come to that point, we need to understand that the world of the heart has a blueprint, and the blueprint is the word of God. The blueprint is with the maker, and the maker is God. And that's why for God, he never wanted you to choose. God never wanted you to be given. by any other person. And that's why if we were to quote about the Bible, there are several verses, and I think it's repeated in the Bible like 4 times. It talks about, wherefore a man shall leave his father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Which means there are 3 steps here. And that's why it's very important for us to understand. Before we consider, we need to understand, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about we who left God and then we are now making the broken systems? We are choosing from the broken systems, because God speaks and then he says, my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and then they have hewn themselves cisterns and broken cisterns that cannot hold water. You know, when we live from God, who say that it's not you, it's him. That's why he says, leave, cleave, become one. Once we live there, now we get to the broken cisterns. And then you look at Eunice today and then you say, she's the right person. And after some time you feel like, no. This is not the angel that I was looking at. But I think it's become, yes, an angel, yes, but an angel of Satan. Or at some point you're thinking about what we should do, but let's go back to the blueprint and then we think about God and what God speaks about marriage. You know, most of the problems that we have before even we get to marriage, or rather, do we really understand the world of our heart? Do we really know who we are? Do you really know that world of the heart? Because if you don't know, then you think you're doing the right thing. But the Bible talks about the heart being deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Which means that your heart can deceive you. And that's why most of the time unasikia vijana wanasema, mpwa wangu manze ameniacha. I'm really hurt. Why? Yes, aliachwa kwa sababu alifuata the heart, which is deceitful. So it deceived him or her. And then she was thinking, oh, I don't know whether Jennifer, before apate that best man that she talks about, my best man, you know, that guy. Before Ampate, I don't know whether she had, people reading novels and they're talking about many things because of the broken systems. They're saying that you have to kiss
many frogs
so that you may get now
the prince.
The prince. So, which means also the prince should be the frog.
No.
One of the best frogs. Then becomes a prince. But this is not biblical. When we come back to the Bible, when we come back to the blueprint, then we have to think. Then, if you have to choose for yourself, do you really understand who you are? Do you really understand your heart? And then, mostly we really trust in ourselves, even when it comes to issues to do with marriage. That's why now you're talking about considering. But now what do you consider? Because when you look at the Bible talks about a man who trusts in man is cursed, and shall be like an heath in the desert, and shall not know when good comes. Which means you trusting yourself so much that you can even choose, but you who trust yourself that much, then it means you are cursed. And then you start now complaining, it's my mother, it's my father, oh, sorry, it was my friend. No, I thought he's an angel, but now he's become an angel of the doom, isn't it? So for me, I would say, let us not try to improvise ways of how I can choose this, I can do that, I can consider and do what. Let us come back to the Bible. And that's why when you look at the Bible is talking about marriage. It's actually, most of the time, the Bible says that, I don't know why the kingdom of heaven, Jesus was able to speak many times and then he said it's like a wedding. It's making it to be more closer to a wedding. And then I have a question. Have you ever seen a wedding that people are very sad?
No.
It's a question for Eunice because now she's trying to think. Have you ever seen a wedding where people are very sad? No, forget about the weddings that mulipatana tu and then you don't know what even you are doing. You are pushed by things. The same way she normally says. She says that there are not people who are dating. They are only out there for fun. Maybe you are there for fun and to reach a point that now you want to make it a wedding and then you are very sad juu anakutoa kwa ile fani ingine yenye ulikuwa unafikiria utaendelea, kwa sababu you had so many frogs and some frogs were so good to you, so you're thinking about them and then you don't know what to do. After you leave them, then you become very sad. But when you look at the weddings that are true weddings, people are very happy. Now I have a question. Why does it make people now to have those goosebumps? Wedding, I don't know. I don't understand. How does it reach that point?
It reaches because you have now, Hamid is also said, here we are making a decision for life.
Lifetime.
It's no longer, if this person is...
Now let's get back to where you're talking about lifetime. Do you really know how many years you will stay in this world? No. Do you really know the last day that you live in this world? You don't. Now you're making a lifetime decision. Then who knows about your life? You or your maker?
My maker.
Which means your maker should tell you, should make that decision for you.
Yeah?
And that's why it talks about something which is very important.
Wait, what did you say?
Yes, that's what I said.
What? Repeat.
I'm not repeating. I want now to cement that thing through the Bible. And then the Bible talks about something. Riches and even houses are an inheritance from the parents. But a very, should I say, a very beautiful wife comes from the Lord. Which means even for me, if it comes from the Lord, it means it is pushing me back to the blueprint, which is the Bible. If the best wife comes from the Lord, yes, of course, my mother can give me everything. My father can give me everything that you can give inheritance to your sons.
Sure.
But one thing that I know, 100% sure, and I know because we'll meet at one point, you cannot give your son a wife.
I know, never.
You cannot give your daughter the husband.
Never.
Because this one, God himself, he decided. And that's why he says, therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother. Why did he say that we have to leave our fathers and mothers? When I look at the many marriages that have problems, you realize that these people never left. The last person that you want to leave is your father and mother. The last person that you want to leave in this life is your father and mother. And that's why now God wanted to touch that most precious and the last person that you cannot leave. Then he says, leave them. Which means if you leave them, then there is no other person that you cannot leave. If you leave them, there is no other voice that you cannot leave. But now, if you did not leave, then how can you join? How can you become one? Now people are fighting about becoming one. But they never left. They never joined. But they are fighting to become one. How can they become one? Look at it at this point. For them to become one, then it means they have to understand, where do you get that virtuous wife? Where do you get that wife who can take care of you? Is it from you or is it given from God? But now many people are pretending, I received from God, but it's their lust. It's not even love. They always say, women don't love, they only submit.
Women don't love, they only submit.
A question, how do you draw the narrow line of saying, but you've just stated,
and how do you live? What
no,
is this
living is a different case. But now you're saying that a virtuous woman is given from God. And I have stated, Mahi has stated that I've been given this woman by God. But you're saying it's out of the lusts and the pleasures of...
No, I didn't say that. I had a clear line. You chose for yourself. But now you want to hide that you are given.
How do I draw the line? And or how do I tell I've been given by God and I've not chosen for myself?
Thank you. Now this comes, the point comes in here. You have a mentor.
See, if I'm following a mentor, then that's the heart of the mentor, not mine.
No, it's not the heart of the mentor. That's, and by the way, mentors
can a mentor mentor me with a problem that I've not addressed to him or her?
Make it more clear. Because when we talk about mentors, we talk about mentors even.
I want us to.
People who mentor you to drink.
Thank you for
Let- I
mentioning
don't
that,
want to talk
because
about
that one
parents.
has to put you in
Let
a
me-
rim
let
light.
me-
But I want us to take a break because you are coming back with part 2 of this. I want you to come and tell us how we draw now this line, because now you've stated categorically that the mentor is also can mentor you wrongly and right? Now we want to draw a clear line when you're talking about mentors.
Thank
Viewers, send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144.
Everywhere. GBS.
Why? Because they have a way. Actually, for me, I would